Hey everyone, Jump here. So the Over the Rainbow event is coming out tomorrow, and it requires soloing the content to get the leprechauns to spawn. With that in mind, I wanted to make a guide for soloing Feth Fiada using easily obtainable gear and pets. Everything I used is obtainable through leveling up or progressing the tutorials, or obtainable through the current events, such as Fly High or Mystic Rental. I'm also making this video very last minute, so I'm sorry if it is scuffed. The things I used for this run are the Rental Celtic Blade, the Blanded Chain Blade, a 30% BFO, Divine Link Corgi, Bone and Mirror Dragon, Arcana Link 5 Elemental Knight, Grandmaster Bard, Comprehensive Potions, and I ran the tech cards Blunting Field, Dampen Shock, Fate Weaver, Redoubled Offensive, and Vital Surge. I decided against using extra slots as it won't be available after this, but I did use the Celtic Rental because it's comparable to the one you can get from Chronicle Mission. I also forgot to take off Wave Sweeper, so my fault with that. Some things I would recommend using that I didn't use: a physical power pot, some blanded armor or whatever your best armor is. The blanded instrument, if you don't have an instrument, is actually pretty good. Your best max damage title. The S-Class Adventurer title from the Rental event is really strong right now. Arcana Link 10 Elemental Knight, and the Perseus two-hander from the Test Your Metal event that's about to come out. Also, if it's possible, use a Battlefield Overture from a public party and twan it, if you have a twan. With all that being said, let's go into the run. So before you hit the first orb, apply your buffs such as Battlefield Overture, Link to your Pet, and Fate Weaver. When you're using Fate Weaver on yourself, use 5231. As soon as we start the room, we're going to deathmark the enemy closest to the middle. And then we'll use Blazing Assault Slash, Flashing Steel, Shattering Windmill, into Dynavolt Smash. When our cooldowns are up, we're going to use Bash and Flashing Steel to finish the room off. Follow the sparkling stars to find your way to the next orb. Sometimes the rooms will have salamanders. Killing the salamanders will leave pools where they died, draining your stats. Stay away from the pools. On the first timer at the zombie hallway, max out your bash stacks and reapply your buffs. Then from here we're going to use Flashing Steel into Bash, and when the enemy doesn't die we use our other big Elemental Knight buttons. This may take a couple attempts depending on your crits and overall damage here. Don't get discouraged if it doesn't happen in the first try. Once the donut has been found, unsummon your pet and summon your bone dragons. The pet will draw aggro and it will make the donut harder to predict. When you're Fate Weavering an enemy to debuff them, use 3152 instead of 5231. Also use Deathmark as well. After defeating the donut for the first time, the rooms will now have all variations of enemies. The Tathums will constantly roll at you, but you can use Shattering Windmill to freeze them for a moment. The zombies will use Rage Impact to stun you a lot, but other than that, they're not really an issue and can be taken down pretty easily. The ball hallway is really easy. Just kill the balls before they reach the end of the line. And here we're going to do the same thing, summoning our dragons, applying Fate Weaver and Deathmark to the donut, and then DPSing it. Sometimes the donut will spawn 4 enemies that need to be killed before you can continue to fight the donut. It doesn't happen in this run, but keep that in mind for your run. When the blue bar appears above the boss's head, it's just a shield that you need to deal damage to in order to break it. If you don't, you'll get stunned. It should be relatively easy if you clear the hallway. And after you beat him the second time, that's it. Enjoy the end chest and possible leprechaun. And that's the end of the guide. I hope this video has helped you in some way or another, and if you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment. I will answer them to the best of my ability. Good luck on your runs.